What's up guys and welcome back to my Lorethrough series. After being chased off Alto's plateau by ancient dragon Lanciax at the end of last episode, we've made our way to Caelid, the land of rot and the land of General Radahn, who, if you remember, we still have to kill for Ranni's quest. After getting invaded by Anastasia in this church, let's take a look around a bit. The land hasn't always been like this. The rot is actually a result of the final battle of the Shattering between the strongest demigods that were left standing, General Radahn and Malenia, Blade of Miquella. Getting pushed to her limits by Radahn made Malenia lose control over her scarlet rot affliction and bloom as a giant scarlet flower, incapacitating both Radahn and her, and ending the Shattering War without a victor. Radahn's Redmane soldiers have been trying to stave off the rot ever since, with fire being the only thing that remotely worked, as they managed to keep Limgrave safe thanks to these walls of fire they built around its border. Obviously, our target in Caelid is Redmane Castle, as General Radahn is there, and conveniently, a note from Merchant tells us we can get there directly from Fort Gale via a portal. We fight our way through the fort, take the portal, and end up at the correct side of the Impassable Great Bridge. Why it's called the Impassable Great Bridge is pretty self-explanatory. Regardless, we fight our way through the castle, preferably without dying since that respawns us all the way outside Fort Gale, picking up some items that become inaccessible later, and we make our way to the plaza, the place where the Festival of Radahn is supposed to take place. However, all we find here is a duo boss of a misbegotten warrior and a crucible knight. Thankfully, we're pretty strong already, so we can take out the warrior before the knight even shows up, turning the battle into two 1v1s. Behind the boss arena, we find Witch Hunter Jaren, who is impressed that we managed to get past his guards.
Oh, tarnished are you? How did you slip inside with the gate closed? No matter. If you can fell one of them, you're a champion in my book. I am Jaren, foolish old warrior and witness. Incidentally, do you like a good festival from time to time? Well, it's true. This fortress houses only the vanquished. But when the stars align, we celebrate. A war festival honoring the last battle and death of General Radahn, the mightiest demigod of the Shattering and bearer of a great rune. Well, good. As you should. The festival affords glory to warriors. Then all you need is a little patience. When the stars align, the festival will be declared. Well, I haven't heard that name in an age. Then you must serve Princess Ranni. The next time you speak to Iji, tell him this. The festival of Radahn will surely set Ranni's fate back into motion. By the by, is that old fool still hammering out weapons? His enormous frame cramped in that little place? Bit of a haughty sort. Strange fella when I knew him. And funny thing, his swords were all blunt as stone, but not one of them decayed when faced with the scarlet rot.
There are three ways to trigger the Radahn festival. The first is to tell Iji about our meeting with Jaren, at which point he will come to a revelation similar to the information Selen gave us.
Well, my fellow, how may I serve you? As war counselor? Or as blacksmith? I take it you've heard of the eternal city of Noxtella? Well, it has a twin, known as Nokron, the other eternal city. After years of expeditions, we've determined the location of Nokron by going underground through the well in the mistwood of Limgrave, you can see Nokron up above. Only we've failed to find a path leading to the city. Blythe's made a good go of it, but I'm afraid this has him quite stumped. To be honest, I'm not sure where to go from here. Jeren. Now that's a name I haven't heard for a while. Before taking up the banner of General Radahn, he was a guest of the Carian royal family. An expert swordsman, to be sure. But ever eccentric. No surprise he'd get wrapped up in some festival. Oh no. Wait, how did I not see it before? I ought to retire as war counselor for such a gross oversight. Let me explain. The fate of the Carian royal family is guided by the stars, as is the fate of Lady Rani, first heir in the Carian royal line. But General Radahn is the conqueror of the stars, who stood up to the swirling constellations, halting their movement in a smashing victory. And so, if General Radahn were defeated, the stars would once again resume their movement, as would Lady Rani's destiny. Perhaps even revealing the elusive path that leads to Nokron. Blythe is Lady Rani's stepbrother. Rani's mother, Queen Renala, approved of him, and they played like siblings from childhood. They were always happy to have me tag along as well. When Lady Rani renounced her flesh and chose the dark path of the Empyrean, Blythe and I swore allegiance as vassals. But none of us will ever forget our earliest days together. Promise to look after Blythe for me, will you? The man is honest to a fault. But fortunately, now he has you. Go with Blythe to the festival grounds. Should General Radahn be defeated, the stars would once again resume their movement, perhaps revealing the elusive path to Nokron.
Then we need to simply relay this information to Blythe. Speaking of Selen, the second way is to simply relay the information she gave us a while ago to Blythe, who is in Siofra River, of course.
Well, Celevis is not a name I ever wanted to hear again. But fine. If it will help you, my apprentice, I offer my knowledge. The stars alter the fate of the Carian royal family, and the fate of your mistress, Rani. But long ago, General Radahn challenged the swirling constellations, and in a crushing victory arrested their cycles. Now he is the force that repulses the stars. If General Radahn were to die, the stars would resume their movement, and so too would Rani's destiny.
Ah, well met. What news? So Rani's fate is kept in stasis by Starscourge Radahn. That reminds me of something I heard. There's a festival being held at the castle on the southern edge of the Caelid Wilds, east of Limgrave. It's a festival of combat. And I heard that you can fight Radahn himself. He who's once called the strongest of all the demigods. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but I think it's worth investigating. I'll be on my way to this festival of Radahn. You're coming too, right? To Radahn's festivities. I'll meet you at Redmane Castle in Caelid. The way ahead is pleasingly simple. We fight, sword and fang.
The third way is to simply activate any grace in the Altus Plateau. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing. If not, leave a comment telling me on how I can improve these videos in the future. Join me next time at the Radahn Festival, where we take on the mightiest demigod of the Shattering. I'll see you then.